Hi everyone, welcome back to a very sunny September the 25th. Now this is very unusual as it's been raining for the last couple of weeks actually, and it's been really cold. Overnight temperatures have been going down to 8 degrees, so tropicals have been coming in and out of the house. Bit of a nightmare. So I thought while this is happening and we've got 2 or 3 days of actual really nice temperatures, I thought we'd go in the house and get the tropical setup sort of set up. And I thought I'd let you have a look and see what I do, take me through the winter. I mean, it's not singing and all dancing as some of the big YouTubers like Nigel Saunders. I mean, that guy's got his head screwed on when it comes to his indoor setup. I mean, if you've got the space, it's great, but you know, I've got a little kitchen and I have to make do with what I've got. So I thought I'd show you what I've got set up. I mean, it gets me through the winter, and hopefully when we get a new house, I get a bigger kitchen. As long as the girlfriend doesn't shout at me, I get a bigger grow setup. So yeah, so I've got quite a few tropicals, and I'm going to take you inside and show you what's going on, how we're getting it set up, and we'll get these trees overwintered. So I'll show you what we've got. I still need some more stuff to buy though. So these trays, all the trees are going to be sitting in these. This makes it easier to water, so all you've got to do is come in with a hose pipe. Jobs are good. It makes watering so much easier, especially when it's cold outside. I don't have to keep bringing in and out. Well, you'll have to bring the odd one out, but in and out doesn't affect the trees. Very sensitive to cold, so it makes it a lot more easy to deal with. So I just need to get 1 or 2 more of these, but I've got this one and I've got the big one that I deal with the repot, so that's going in the house. And I've got a big white one that I don't really want to use because it's higher up, but for the time being I'm just going to get it all set up and then work out the space, and I think I need 1 or maybe 2 more of these, so I'll buy them. This is kind of exciting, going into a YouTuber's house. Not really. Right, so this is the small space unlimited little corner of the kitchen. So at the bottom, as you can see on the left side, I've got some pots and tools and my soil, and then we've got some gardening stuff and the rest of my car cleaning materials. But on the bottom shelf, on these shelving units, I've got from IKEA set up. So just here, so these silver reflective sheets, I've got one that wraps around halfway and then it links up to this second one. So these, believe it or not, they are just what you put in your car windscreen to reflect the sun out, and they also double up in the winter to keep from freezing over, and they're like a couple of pound off eBay or even your AliExpress or any of those cheap little apps. They reflect all the light to give you the most light possible, and they also keep the heat in. Do need to get some more for the second shelving tier. So light wise, I upgraded my aquarium light, so I have a spare one. So as a backup, it is just T5 lighting, so it's 2 strip lights. Here's a 4-foot one, so I've got one there, and then I do have a proper grow light just over here. So if I move you in, and I think this one is about 36 centimeters by 36 centimeters, and it is a white, blue, red, and orange yellow LED. And again, as I say, with all these reflective, it bounces the light everywhere. And as I was saying in one of my previous videos and my updates, I've got the yellow sticky pads. They're ready to go up. I've got one here, and then one that'll be moved in where the trees are around, just into the center. I'll have 2 of them at the top, and I'll put 2 in the bottom. The bottom, same again. I've got another one of the grow lights just here positioned, and then in the middle section I got a smaller one just here positioned in this tier. And then we've got a couple of lids from just the big buckets, the big tubs that you mix your soil in. I've got 2 of those as well that we're going to be using. As I say, just for now we'll get them roughly placed into position until I get some more of the proper, I don't even know what they're called. the proper things that we're going to put the trees in anyway. And then I've got an additional light just here on the side, because I do know I'm going to have trees here. I've got a big lemon tree that's in the garden. Well, when I say big, it's relatively big compared to a bonsai tree. Yeah, so a couple of IKEA shelves, and then I'm obviously going to have to use the old tumble dryer to put some trees on as well, or one big tree. So if I go back into the garden, I'll show you that lemon tree that I'll be bringing in as well, because that isn't frost hardy. So as I say, it is pretty decent in size. That comes up to my, how do I say that's on me? That's about my mid-torso, maybe my pec. So that's a good 4 foot in height. And it's quite bushy. So that's got to come in. I've probably got to bring the kumquat in as well. I've got 2 lemon from seeds, one's in there and one's in the greenhouse, on top of all the topicals we've got to bring in as well. So there's some more tubs that we're going to be using. Right, so let's start positioning the tubs. So tubs are now in position. As I say, we've got this white one. It is a lot deeper than all the others, so it probably makes getting the trees in and out a little bit more difficult if we have to get them in and out, especially the ones that, if we fill this with water, we need to drain it. Makes it a bit of an issue. But all the other ones, that's the nice big one that we do all our repots in when we do the videos. So that's all set. Got another one exactly the same, just half the size. And then we've got a smaller one. I did notice this one's got a crack at the bottom, and I've put some putty at the bottom. It's cracking away, and every time I put the putty in to try and seal it, it's just cracking ever more. So I think that's had its day, but hopefully we don't put too much water in it. It's got channels there, it doesn't go anywhere near the bottom on this side, so we shouldn't have any leaks. And then we do have a bit of passage here, so if I need to put any more trees down here, I can put some drip trees for the pots. So that's ready to go with the trees. We've got more room there, and then as I say, we've got this section here. This can slide further down, and then we've got trays for days, as they say, and we can put a couple more if we need to. There. We've got the light here. As I say, I've got a couple of trays to go there. Once we buy another one of those trays to go here, I can put the white one down on the floor there, so I've got no issues with the bigger trees being watered, and then I can leave water in the bottom. So it should look something like that, and then I can just leave it pooled with a bit of water so that the trees, them ones don't need watered as much. And the same with that, they got a constant water supply. I've got one over here as well. I did just test it because these big ones here, especially this fusion ficus, is a lot taller than I expected it to be. That doesn't fit anywhere near in any of these shelving units. It has to go here, or possibly on the floor down here. Right, so I suppose off to the shop, and then later on today I'll fill this section up with trees. I'm going to leave them out in the sun while it's warm, and then later on, or which will be in a minute for, well, in a second for you, but later on for me, I will fill up the trees in this section and show you what it looks like. See you in a second. So I've just been to the garden centre, picked myself a couple of these mats up. So they're not the proper drip trays like this one that I wanted. These are in fact useful tidy trays. Well, yes, and they're actually for your shoes, or well, they are for the garden, or to pack away stuff. Anyway, £4.99 instead of the normal £9.99 for your normal trays. And I keep hitting my shelves with my phone. I'm going to damage my phone at this rate. Anyway, picked up 3 of them. So let's get rid of this. You can see the difference in height, and I think these will work splendid. So the big one that we had here, we've now moved over onto the tumble dryer. which will work fandabby-dozer, I think. And then with a bit of YouTube magic, we'll have all the trees there. So YouTube magic being what it is, this is somewhat what it's going to look like. So most of the trees are in. So as you can see, it's going to look a little something like this. So the top shelf is nicely cramped. We do have this much room along the front. So if we do need to, we can put a layer of the normal trays down. And I've got a bit of gap just down there. So I've got the larger trees just along here. There is a couple of space. Move yourself around. I say we've got one of the sticky, yellow sticky things just over there collecting any little gnats that we've got. I've got one just in front here with a couple of gnats on them. So far so good. Down in the middle shelf, not too cramped in. I've got my Sarissa over here. She's got plenty of flowers growing. This is the first year I've actually got lots of flowers on. She's doing well. And then I've got another yellow sticky there. And then under this side, all nicely cramped in. Lots of the cuttings. And then I've got the cuttings that we did at the back, still in its tray. And out front, I've got the Fusion Ficus. And then I've got what's commonly known as the ginseng that was bought from IKEA. So this thing, we will be doing an experiment on a, well, I won't say an experiment, but I intend to do a chop on her in the spring, summer of next year. So the idea being is I would like to take probably a big cut here and use her as a nice big chunk chop, and use the trunk lower down as a nice big fat tree, start and grow. So that's exactly why she's got her own growth. So these ones here, these are the grafts. I've already removed a couple of them, but top bit is all grafted, and then we've got the odd bit here and there. So that's my idea, and then I would be taking this section as well, and so I might air layer it rather than trunk chopping it. And then obviously if we take this one and get another tree out of it, I don't know. But back to what we're in, matter at hand. That's going to be a setup. So the light here is just shining on that, but we'll be swinging it around, having that over here. These two trees might not necessarily stay there, they might go over here. I brought the big fruit tree. I don't think this is a lemon actually, because the fruit's actually orange. So it starts out green like this, goes yellow, and it started to turn orange. So it might be clementine. But you can see the size of it. That's pretty large. So that's my setup. Gets me through the winter, autumn and winter stages. And as I say, I've still got a couple more to come in. Some more fruit trees that could be coming in. I've had to come in the greenhouse to try and do this outro, so I'm sorry if it's a bit echoey, but the sun is so bright I can't see anything I'm doing. You might notice I'm in a different top. Yet again, I've had to get changed. I forgot to do this outro like the clever guy that I am. So, well, anyway, what do you think of my grow setup? Please leave in a comment, let me know what you think. It gets me, can't talk. It gets me by. I've had it grow up for the last 2 years. I've just had to make some tweaks. The lights, they're alright. I probably need 1 or 2 more, especially on that second tier shelving. I need a bigger light on the left side. Definitely. I've had that smaller one in last year, and it's done me well, but I do need a bigger one, especially now I've moved that little one over and out onto the floor side. What would you do differently? How's your setup? Leave these comments down below. Let me know how yours goes. Anyway, the tinfoily stuff, I don't actually know what that's called, but if I can get some more on the bottom shelving, that'll help them grow. I have a water bottle spray as well that I use. I miss the trees quite a lot, and that keeps the humidity up, so the tropicals do love that. And you will also notice that there is a radiator there Please don't leave a comment saying they're going to die out and they dry out, because I don't have that radiator on. So the kitchen doesn't have any heating on through the winter. So yes, it is relatively cool in there. So it gets to a certain temperature, but no, the radiator doesn't go on. Anyway, if you like this one, guys, please do let me know. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to push the channel, and yeah, little sub would be lovely. Anyway, leave a comment. As I say, I want to know what you like to do with your overwintering, and let me know what mine's doing. If it's good or not, you know, what would you do better? And please give me a like as well. And as usual, I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching. See you now. Bye, everyone.